All right, here we go into set number 3. It is all tied up right now, and looking at the tank lineup, AVANTE-GARDE going with a pretty similar strategy as I believe it was on Airfield, where they went 3 MX-50s. They did trade out one of their light tanks for another heavy tank, so going 5 heavy tanks on AVANTE-GARDE side, and on NightEagles side, going with a slightly more mobile setup, going 2 T-32s, 2 T-69s, and of course 1 elite light tank, WZ-132.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're going to see CK SPB on that WZ-132 this time, but we'll also see Blade on the T1 on the other side. We usually see Blade on that WZ-132.
Yeah, that's true actually. So Griffin going to take, actually, yeah, Griffin is going to just be in a heavy tank as well. So yeah, AVANTE-GARDE going with all heavy tanks. They have sent one of their MX-50s to the western island. The other rest of the forces going towards the central hill area. They also have one of their MX-50s back at the base as a sniper. So really, I like this move for AVANTE-GARDE. They will have the option to fire down shots onto, if the NightEagles go for the central hill, they'll be able to fire down shots from 3 different directions, 3 different angles that they'll have. And I mean, they have no vision on NightEagles, but I mean, really, this map is so small that, I mean, more times than not, the teams are just going to go for that central hill area.
Yeah, and it seems like on our map, we've already spotted, I think, 2 tanks there in the middle for NightEagles, so it seems like they already went for that mid.
Luna Maria taking so much damage right there. Look at that. And now we're taking a look at the NightEagle lineup. And yeah, CKSB is actually leading the troops right here, and all the members of AVANTE-GARDE being spotted up by the NightEagles, but the NightEagles just not having the angles to fire down shots. Luna Maria and Audio taking quite a bit of damage right there. If they continue to take damage like this, eventually they're not going to be able to even push out, and if they get pushed on upon, they're just going to get taken out too fast for them to even retaliate. So they got to be careful, either pull back a little bit or just go for a push, or if they want to continue this long range game, then land your shots.
Yeah, AVANTE-GARDE doing a bunch of damage, but NightEagles, they had an interesting position there. It seemed like they were a bit spread out, and AVANTE-GARDE, you know,
it's kind of a similar setup actually. Both teams have a tier 8 on the island to the west. Both teams have their scouts, at least one of the T1 scouts to the east, and the rest of the force is going to be here in the central hill area. The only really difference is on AVANTE-GARDE side. They have one of their heavy forces, one of their MX-50s, actually now 2 of their MX-50s back at their base. So they're going to have 2 snipers there, but now AVANTE-GARDE have started to take damage, so they have to be careful. Look at Zen Yelder. He has taken down, and another huge shot to Zen Yelder, down to a 440 health right there. CKSVP, nice job by him getting those long range shots onto Zen Yelder. Yeah,
that is so important actually, onto those tanks in the back. You got to make sure they're not much of an influence on these fights, especially in those AMX 50s. And again, taking so much damage, Zen Yelder down to like 270 health right now.
Yeah, Zen Yelder has to be careful. Oh, 960 taking some damage here. Bingo Bongo as well. Yeah, Bingo Bongo did manage to, oh, and the first tier goes down. Zen Yelder, first blood, and 8 tier points gonna be taken out from their team.
Yeah, that's a whole AMX 50 going now.
That's a huge loss by them.
That is huge.
Yeah, N60 has taken a lot of damage as well, but I mean, just looking, I mean, like surprisingly, the NightEagles are coming out on top now. They have, you know, retaliated enough damage for them to stay in it, and they have, I mean, I gotta give them even a slight advantage now. Just due to the fact that they're slowly creeping up and they're getting the surrounding maneuver onto some of these members of AVANTE-GARDE, and really AVANTE-GARDE they were forced to pull back even further, and they you know, they had to send one of their MX-50s back to their base. He might have been pulled back to the front lines, but I mean, Luna Maria is taking some damage right now. AVANTE-GARDE, if they want to come back in this, they gotta take out Luna Maria. Yeah, they have to at least a tier 8, at least a tier 8.
Yeah, they got to take out someone. A nice, well, good for Griffin. Missing a shot from NightEagles, going out to Griffin, did miss, but Griffin doing so much damage to Luna Maria, like you said, they got to take out someone. Luna Maria, I think, would be the best target. He is about
or N60, because N60 is actually in the less armored tank, so it'll probably be easier to take out N60 than it would be to take out Luna Maria. And he actually, N60 is also lower, but I mean, Luna Maria, he does do slightly more damage. I mean, if you call it like shot by shot, of course the T69 overall does more, at least in a short period of time. The T69 will do more damage due to the autoloader, but I mean, it'd be, yeah, I think it'd be wiser to take out N60 before Luna Maria, definitely so. But I mean, to take out either of those, they would have to push, which is also extremely risky. So I mean, just kind of playing out like right now is understandable. It's about halfway through the set right now, and N60 and Luna Maria definitely the lowest tanks on NightEagles right now. I mean, honestly, I mean, eventually, okay. Eventually, AVANTE-GARDE have to push. If NightEagles don't push themselves, eventually AVANTE-GARDE have to push because of the tier point disadvantage. At the same time, if AVANTE-GARDE pushes, they're going to be at a disadvantage, but if they don't push, they're going to lose. So they absolutely have to push eventually. They're repositioning slightly right now for that push, but they're taking too much damage when they're repositioning right here. I mean, TanksAsia is taking so much damage. Luna Maria might get taken out here, and Luna Maria goes down.
That's big. That's
exactly what they needed, though.
Like, they were just poking in and out. They had to take out one of those tanks, like you were saying now. Now it is even. We still have 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game. I mean, AVANTE-GARDE, they do have a lot of damage onto their tanks, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like NightEagles have a bit of a better position here on this hill.
Yeah, no, they definitely have more map control, and that could be key to winning this set. I mean, it's tied up now, so neither team has the obligation to push anymore. It's completely tied up. Yeah, hit points wise, I mean, still, honestly, it's actually kind of even. In all honesty, it's pretty even. Not much of a difference really between these two teams right now. And it's just gonna come down to this continual poke on this central hilltop area. I mean, neither team wants to push out, and neither team wants to really pull back and be 100% defensive either. Both teams are content on continuing this medium to long range engagement here.
Yeah, I mean, Griven here and Fresh Meat on AVANTE-GARDE just going in and out, trying to get those pokes.
Oh, Audio just missed. Oh man, Audio, that would have been a huge shot to Griven if he landed that. But unfortunately, he does miss there. Yeah, CKSVB over here on the side, on the western side of the map, providing some like crossfire for his team, but just no angles just yet.
Yeah, he did get one shot.
Oh, Griven, yeah, look at that shot, huge shot onto Griven right there. He does trade with Audio. They both take about even amount of damage. The Fresh Meat here, right there, Audio, nice spot by him. He was actually about to go for the shot onto Griven, but luckily he spotted, yeah, Griven to pull back.
Yeah, he wanted to get the shot onto Griven, but all of a sudden it was a new full health tank.
Yeah, Fresh Meat, yeah. Just showing up there to stop him in his tracks. Yeah, so, I mean, oh man, this is so hard to call, honestly.
It is really hard. I mean, we do have CKSVB over here. He does have a nice position on this western ridge. AVANTE-GARDE does not have any of their tanks on that western side, and if he can get a couple of good shots, that could turn the tide here. I mean, both teams have one of those tanks that are really low. I think it's N60 and Griven, I think, with the low hit points on each team, but if they can take it out, it would be really beneficial to the team. Yeah,
I want to see the NightEagles push up more on the western side, on the western island, because I don't believe any of the AVANTE-GARDE things are over there. They can afford to push up slightly, and that could grant them more vision on those AVANTE-GARDE members, and once they have that, then they can set up their push. So NightEagles, they've really spread out thin right now. Cat Chen in his T69 over here on the eastern village area. The other two tanks in the center of the map, and then the other elite light scout plus the T1 over there on the western island. So really a nice spread coming out from NightEagles. Really, if they can get vision on those AVANTE-GARDE members, then they'll be able to fire down shots from 3 different directions. So definitely positional advantage, more map control going in AVANTE-GARDE's favor, but really it's still quite even.
Yeah, I like what Katchen's doing over here, actually. They're very spread out. They have a really good position, though. Like, he's going to come in from behind and force a lot of pressure onto this Griven, especially, and on Fresh Meat here in the middle. If they get flanked and kind of cornered, they could do a lot of damage, NightEagles can, but, I mean, they still do have the cover fire from Bingo Bongo and TanksAsia in the back on those AMX-50s, so we'll have to see what Katchen does here. He did take out a T1, but I'd be curious to see if they go for, like, a flanking, like, not all in, but like an aggressive maneuver to try to take out Griven and possibly some of their tanks, but it would be really dangerous.
Yeah,
because of those AMX-50s in the back.
Definitely so. And both the AMX-50s on AVANTE-GARDE side have been pulled back to the base. They're right there on the kind of, it's like an elevated area where the starting position is. And Griven is quite low. I believe TanksAsia is low as well. So if the NightEagles were to push, they definitely got to focus on one of those two first before they go for Fresh Meat or Bingo Bongo. And once they have that, then they can snowball it. But only 30 seconds remain. So I don't need. This might possibly just be a draw.
Yeah,
we might just have to go to replay.
Both of these teams are in very vulnerable positions here. They got to be careful. I don't think either one of these teams wants to take the risk. Looks like we'll have to go to a replay here.
15 seconds remaining, and neither team looking like they can push. Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like we will be going to a replay, folks.